Hello, I'm Timo. Welcome to my first Zwift race. So I got Zwift maybe a month ago. I've ridden a couple of rides there, but this is the first race I'm joining. I'm also not a very good cyclist yet, so I cycled quite a lot maybe 15 years ago, and then got back into cycling actually right with the yeah start of the pandemic basically. So I bought a bicycle last winter, and this smart trainer for Zwift just a few months ago. I don't remember when actually. And today is the first time that I'm racing on. At the start of the race, it's quite important to start with a good wattage. So you can see here it's 5 seconds before the race starts, and I'm spinning up to 300 watts. And the reason for this is that Zwift uses an average of, I think, 5-second power. So if the race starts and you are on 0, then this counts into your average, and this works quite well. So immediately I'm in the front group, and I don't want to be the first, but I want to be in this group. So the reason is that for Zwift you have a model of wind or air drag. So if you are the second rider behind somebody else, you have to output less watts than the guy in front of you. So it makes sense to follow someone. And I try to stay in this front group basically all the time. Otherwise, it's immediately clear that you cannot win, right? So if you're not in the front group, at least for me, so I don't have the power to catch up in this category. So Zwift racing is organized in categories, and these categories are based on watts per kilogram. So in the top left corner you see the watt output that I'm doing. Below that you see the cadence in rotations per minute and my heartbeat. So you can see in my video feed I'm wearing this heart monitor around my chest. So, and this is pretty much the position I want to be in, right? So I'm still in the front group, and now there's a breakaway, so I need to catch this. I don't want them to go off the front. So right now they are just 1 second ahead, but this will get dangerous, so I need to chase them back. And I'm hoping that the other guys will do the work, right? So if they start chasing that back, then I can still stay behind them. But let's see what happens. This course is super flat, so this is kind of the only time when it goes uphill. The gradient I think is 6%, and the race should be really short, so I'm expecting something like 20 minutes. And now you see I'm bridging to that front group. Now I have to output quite a lot of power. So actually, how much power can I output? I did an FTP test. FTP stands for functional threshold power, so this is the amount of watts that you can hold for an extended period of time. And I should be, this test placed me I think at 150 something, 151 or something like this. So I put myself in the D category, which is the lowest category on Zwift. My weight is 72 kilograms, and this C category I think goes up to 2.4 watts per kilogram. So this places me kind of at the top end of this category, so I should have fun there. Note that this is an anti-sandbagging race, so of course people can just lie about their FTP and then win the race, but there is a countermeasure against that. So if the game detects that you are basically too strong, you get disqualified. Now I'm going a bit too strong after catching this group. I have too much momentum, so I almost passed all of them. I don't want that. I want to stay in position 2, 3, something like that. Right now that is working great, so I'm not too worried about the exact position right now. I just want to see the front guy. And you see the messages on the screen that say close the gap, so basically that means you are a bit too far behind the last person and you should try to step it up. It's quite hard to follow the wheel perfectly actually, in my opinion, on Zwift, because you don't have that view that you have on a normal bike where you see immediately like, okay, I want to be 30 centimeters behind somebody, and if it goes to 40 you immediately see it and you push a bit harder. And then there's this power averaging, so sometimes you realize, okay, I'm a bit too far back, you push a little bit more and then you almost go past them. So this, I think, takes a bit more practice from my side. Okay, so far all is going well. We are into the second lap, and now you can see somebody got basically disqualified. So this triangle means they apparently went way too strong for the last 5-10 minutes, and I think they are artificially kind of kept slow so that others don't benefit from their draft anymore. Okay, all is going well, and you can see at some point, and I even missed this now in the video, when this guy took off. So there's this C. Sullivan French guy that you can see in the list on the right that now has an 18-second gap to me. So I don't even see him on the screen anymore, he's just off to the front. And I don't see a chance of catching that, so I just follow these other two guys and I completely ignore this guy. He's already way too far ahead, and at this point I'm just hoping that, okay, this guy is going way too fast and he will also be disqualified at some point. And you can see now something here, so my bike is wobbling extremely, so I even need to adjust the table, so the bike basically hit the table, and I don't know why this happens. I think I didn't set up the trainer level on the floor, so for my next race I definitely need to check this. We just finished the second lap. I think everything is going perfect for me, so my pulse is good at this point. I don't feel too tired. I think my good pulse for me is around between 160 and 170. So everything going well. I'm in a good position. You can see here somebody was using a power up. I'm not using this in this race, so this helmet means you have less wind drag for 20 seconds. You can activate them on the phone, but I really don't have the energy to also worry about the phone, so I don't know what setup people use. Maybe they mount the phone to the handlebars or something like this. Maybe that is an option in the future, but for now I'm just going without using any power-ups. The nice thing on Zwift is you don't have to steer, so you can very easily change your position. So you can see right now I'm completely upright. Obviously I also do this sometimes on the road, but in a race that would be completely impossible. And for me that is kind of nice to switch my position every now and then. We are in this climbing section, and now we can see that our group already put a decent gap to the next group basically. So there's one guy that has a 5-second gap, so maybe he's trying to catch us, but then the next one is like a 14-second gap. And we have another person that got disqualified. And now I'm making a mistake, so I should be behind that guy at least. So let's catch up to him. But I think now he also kind of lost his motivation due to getting disqualified, so now I have a problem. So there's this guy that is 41 seconds ahead and I have no chance of catching that, so thank God somebody's coming. I really don't want to be in the front. Please, pass, pass, pass. Now we are just playing games, so I think he has the same strategy that he doesn't want to be in the front. But I'm suffering, so I don't have the energy right now to just increase the speed. So actually we are going quite fast, like 40 kilometers per hour. I cannot increase the speed and make him suffer alone in the wind. So okay, thank God we were slow enough for people to pass us, and now the only thing we need to do is not lose them. But that goes quite well. And let's just follow this guy. Now for me this is nice because I can basically dictate the pace of this group, and whenever I'm too slow then somebody will overtake, and I really need a bit of rest. So now I start getting tired, so my heart rate is constantly 175, 76. Too high for me to sustain until the end of the race, so I'm really hoping I can get some rest here. And I think for the other guys it's pretty much the same. They are also tired, otherwise they would try to form a new breakaway. Okay, this guy has enough, too slow for him. But let's make use of his wheel, let's follow him. Yeah, this is now dangerous, so I cannot really do too much right now. I would really like to follow this guy in the blue jersey that is going off the front, but I'm starting to suffer actually. I'm pushing really hard, so my heart rate is 180. This is not good for me, and you will see this when the race finishes. So after this lap I'm completely done, but it was worth it. So I was bringing back these guys, and immediately I'm trying to lower the pace, but that doesn't work. So these two guys really want to go hard, and this is what is so tiring. So the power is changing easily by 100 watts, right? So sometimes it's 150, sometimes it's 250, and you need to keep up. So if I lose this group, there is no chance. They are too big, they will just keep rotating and I will be lost. But so far it's going well. I'm really suffering, but at least I'm keeping up. And the nice thing is that this Sullivan guy that went out the front got disqualified, another guy got disqualified. So we really seem to be the group that will take the podium positions. I just need to keep up with these two guys. And I don't care so much if I will win. I mean, I know I'm not good at sprinting, but I really want to stay in this first group. But you can see I'm really suffering. So I remember I felt some pain in my chest at this point, just from breathing too hard. So I'm just trying to keep up. And now the blue guys going off the front. That is not good. That is really not good. This should be chased back. I don't have the energy to chase him, but luckily for me, there's the red guy that feels the same, so I can just follow him and bam, we have him back. Great. And the red guy is going really strong, so he doesn't lose any momentum, and now he's in the front. That's great. My only problem is I'm really in the red right now, so I'm really suffering that. And now I'm even in the wind. But that's okay at this point. Okay, so they are taking over. Nice. And we are starting the last lap. And at this point everything is going great, so I'm still expecting that some of the people that are ahead of us will get disqualified. And actually that happened exactly like that, so the first three officially were in this group. Actually the real results of the race are always on a separate kind of page called Zwift Power that you connect your Zwift account to, and they analyze your race data and they basically disqualify people based on some rules. So okay, now the problem is I really don't have the strength to chase this guy. So I'm going with like 100 watts, which normally I would not call exhausting, but I really cannot do more. And these people are much more fresh. So at this point I just have to let them go and try to keep up. The nice thing is that the next guy after me is like more than a minute now of distance, so I know that okay, with these three I cannot compete anymore. So, and there is also no point then in going faster because the next guy has like half a minute of distance now to me. So I can probably go quite slow without him catching up. And this is exactly what is happening for the rest of the lap. So I think this means 100 meters to go. Okay, maybe more. Yeah, I'm dying right now, so I'm just really literally trying not to die. Completely alone, but I don't care. I mean, these three guys, they already took off. The next guy still a 20-second gap, so there is no way he will catch up. And I'm just chilling, trying to finish. Okay, I remember I was suffering so badly during these last few moments of the race, and I just wished it was over. Not even pushing 100 watts right now, so great. And this should be the finish line, I guess. No. This is the finish line. So let's see. So in Zwift it says I'm in 4th place, but if we check Zwift power after the race, it actually says I'm 3rd place. So I'm quite happy with this outcome. Quite surprised how destroyed I was in the last lap, so I think if I build a bit more endurance, I can do much better. And that was the race. I'm really destroyed by now.